Palestinian demonstrators marched through the city today as part of a global day of action to call for a ceasefire in the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas. Good evening. The rally and march was one of dozens being held across the world today as part of the global march for Rafah.
Demonstrators are calling for a ceasefire in the ongoing conflict as Israel's war with Hamas has pushed more people into Rafah, the southernmost city in the Gaza Strip. CTV's Sean Leathon spoke with demonstrators today and joins us live now with more. Sean.
Well, it's been 4 months since the war in Gaza began. Many protests in Toronto, over 40 in that time. Protesters saying they feel like they're being intimidated by police now after something happened last week outside Mount Sinai Hospital, but they say they will continue to protest.
Marching in Toronto as part of a global protest against the war in Gaza.
Today has been organized in major cities all across the world to have people come to the streets. And the fact that people have been taking to the streets in these numbers for this long is incredibly encouraging.
More than 20 cities around the world taking part 4 months into the Israel-Hamas war, and protesters say their demands aren't being met.
For 133 days and for over 40 protests, our demands have been loud and clear. Our elected officials have failed us. We demand for a permanent and immediate ceasefire, for the lift on the 16-year siege on Gaza.
As the group gathered in front of Union Station, organizers said police threatened protesters with financial penalties.
The Toronto police has informed us that if anybody gets on the truck while the truck is moving, they will fine us $10,000. Serve RTPS!
Once marching began down Front Street, there was a heavy police presence directing traffic.
So once the truck had begun moving, they were clear to make sure that nobody actually stood in the back while the protest was moving down Front Street. They say they will continue to protest for as long as it takes.
We asked Toronto police about the potential fines. In a statement, they said police spoke to protest organizers and cautioned them against driving the truck with people sitting in the trailer or hanging off the sides for safety reasons. Organizers agreed to this. We didn't mention anything about a $10,000 fine. Today is the first major gathering since pro-Palestine protesters marched along University Avenue last week, with some climbing the hospital facade outside Mount Sinai, leading to accusations that the protesters targeted the hospital.
This route was one that we have taken many times over the last 5 months, and I think that the categorization of an attempt to say that we targeted that hospital is untrue. And is an attempt to distract from what's happening in Gaza right now.
Organizers say the video of a man climbing the scaffolding was someone who took it upon himself, and it was not planned.
The gentleman specifically who happened to climb on top of the foyer of Mount Sinai, he climbs everything he sees.
Protesters say that they regularly liaise with police and made their route well known beforehand.
So while a few thousand protesters were here today, they said they will continue protesting until their demands are being met, and that is a ceasefire in Gaza. Reporting live, I'm Sean Leathon. I'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Sean.